Welcome back everybody to Orange Track Outlaws. Today we are going to restore this 70s old school 18 van. This thing here it's modeled after the Baja Breaker casting. Um, Pretty cool looking one. Always a fun one when I was a kid. You know, a big fan of the A-Team. Not exact replica of the A-Team van, but a cool one nonetheless. All black with the red stripes. Kind of looks like the 18 van on steroids a little bit, really. Looks like it's lifted a little bit, bigger tires than normal. But, you know, cool casting. Been wanting to do this one for a while. Got some decals from Second Chance Red Lines on eBay. And we'll be getting those on here soon. But let's take a look at our project here rolling in on our custom hauler. We got the old school A-Team van. Like I said earlier, a cool one, fun to play with a kid. I love the fact that the hood opened. A lot of things break off and whatnot, but this one was actually pretty intact. It looks like it was played with. The axles are bent a little bit. This one did come with real riders, which is pretty cool. But we're going to get this thing apart here and get to work. Now, since it is an older casting, it's got the old style rivet that did not have like the center hole in it, like some of the newer castings. So to get the drill bits down there, you gotta center punch it a little bit. Luckily, this one only has one, so I try to find the middle. Take your center punch, hit it 2 or 3 times, it should be good to go. And you can take your small drill bit, get your little pilot hole going. You don't want to get too far in on the pilot hole, just enough to where you think you get past the steel, I guess, or whatever, just to get below the chassis. You take your bigger bit in, buzz the head off, and as long as you get enough of it, it should pop apart pretty easy. This one here I did not get enough of it, so I'm going to hit it again real quick with the drill bit and take just a little more material off, and it should pop right off. And there it goes. I'll clean up your station here of all the little metal shavings and get this thing taken apart, see what we got. So since it is on an older casting, it is metal on metal. Those are always fun. So here we are, got this thing apart. The hood is attached to the interior, so you got to kind of pop the interior out from the back first, and then slide the hood through, and it should pop right out. This thing's not in too bad a shape, really. Paint's just a little chipped. Other than that, it's actually okay. The interior is fine. The windshield, it's in its okay shape. It's a little faded. It does have a couple scratches on there, but those will come out just fine. Chassis is in good shape. It's still going to get sandblasted and polished, but I got another group of real riders to put on there. I think it's going to look pretty cool. So we're just going to start getting this thing in the sandblast box. Let me get all that crappy old black paint off there. Since this thing is kind of old, pretty weathered, didn't take much in the sandblast box to get it all off of there. Really just a couple minutes, just because it's a bigger casting, but black paint came right off. Just kind of figured it would. Much easier than using the paint stripping liquids and whatever, with all that mess and fumes and whatnot. And anyway, sandblast box, definitely preferred for me. Sometimes on the new castings you gotta use the paint strippers, but I like the box. Here's what it looks like out of the sandblast box. Got a little hazy, little residue on it. A couple minutes here in the wire wheel booth. We'll get it cleaned up, see what we got to work with here. Just a couple minutes here in the booth. These off. We're not going to go crazy. We got all the paint off, which is good. We don't need to do a lot of wire wheeling. We're going to hit this with primer. We're not going to polish it, so we don't have to go super crazy. But there is a lot of metal to clean up. So just take your time, get it all. I like to get all the inside too. I just like to shoot some paint up in there also. But I'm take this thing out here, show you. This is what it looks like out of the wire wheel booth. The castings does have some pits, more than more than you like to see. We're gonna try and fill that in with primer in a little bit. Yeah, we did sandblast the chassis, like I said earlier. Now we're going to just clean off the leftovers from the blast material, and we are going to polish this. So I think we're done cleaning it up with our wheel. We're going to put this guy, we're going to bring it back in the same booth with some metal polish, and hopefully get this thing to a nice shine. So a couple more minutes, not even really a couple minutes, couple seconds really. Here's a good look of it after we're done wire wheeling it. Pretty good shape. We're going to get our metal polish out here. We're going to get our buffing wheel on our Dremel. We're going to smear around, and then we're going to start polishing this guy up. We're going to go on our Dremel. It's got two settings. We're going to go in the first setting. It's not too fast. Just something that keeps the wheel moving, keep spreading the polish around, keep the wheel moving all the way around. It's going to get pretty wet, pretty black, pretty dark, and you're gonna feel like every time you turn it, you're just spreading it around more and more. And you kind of are, but that's good. But just keep at it, keep polishing away, keep moving it around. And eventually, you know, that wet look will start to go away, and the wheel will start picking up all that polish that's left over, and it'll leave us a nice shiny surface. At least that's the goal. So just keep at it. This is one of those kind of slow and steady things. But as you can see here, I know the view isn't that good, but I don't like this stuff splattering all over the place. Here's a good look at it after she's polished. I think it looks pretty good. We'll hit that guy with a little soap and water and call her the chassis done. But now we're off to the paint booth. We're going to hit our body with some Createx Autoborn Sealer Gray. We're going to thin it a little bit with some 4012. And go light on the PSI. I think it's 25 to 30, and spray it nice and light. Try to get full coverage, and but try to stay light, try to stay moving. You don't want this thing splattering, and you don't want it too heavy just yet, because it'll dry funky. So nice easy first coat. This stuff dries fast. Just give it a couple minutes. You can come back in with some more. It's probably going to take a handful of coats here since it's pretty pitted. But once we get moving, I'm going to try to lay it on just a little thicker, and hopefully this primer will do its job, fill those in, and kind of level out, so we won't see all those imperfections. So you can see it's looking pretty good. Primer's sticking pretty good. Yeah, you can see it's a little wet. You can see it's wet, so I did go heavy on there. I didn't go too heavy though. So it should dry just fine here. It's hard to see right there, but it looks fine, dried fine. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try some more splash paints. I do have some jet black. Since our 18 van is black, this is what I want to go with. I want to try these splash paints. They are ready to use right out of the bottle. One of the reasons why I do like using them is because you can use it right out of the bottle, no thinning or nothing. It does take a little while, a little longer to clean up than the water-based one, since you get paint thinner on these since they're urethane, but they go on real nice. They spray real nice. As you can see, it does have good coverage, and um, pretty happy with it. I've used a couple of these on some prior builds, and I think they've actually turned out really well. So I got about a dozen colors or so of these splash paints, and trying to use them whenever I can, and so far so good. Haven't had any problems. So you can see our van getting darker and darker here. Just try to keep moving the paint around. Try to spray in nice even lines and even coats, and it'll be fine. You'll be able to tell where you're heavy and where you're not, where it needs to go. But just keep moving it around, and your cover should be fine. So probably gonna do, I don't know, probably about 2-3 coats on the black. You know, it is jet black, but I do want to get a bunch of coats on there to get it as black as I can. The clear is going to help bring the black out, but we want this thing pretty much as black as we can get it. So that's that. We're going to put our 2K clear on off camera here, let that dry, and then we are going to work on our chassis. I did put my axle tubes in off camera. There's been plenty of videos on that already, so really just cut the tubes to size, cut the notches in for the axles, and super glue them in. Pretty straightforward, no big deal there. Got my real rider wheels. I got them trimmed. I got the axles trimmed to fit, so basically slide them in the tubes. I like to space them off the tube just a little bit to give them clearance to roll without catching anything, and then we'll super glue them in. So I like to use this product I found, this Fiber Fix super glue. Cool stuff here. It's got a built-in UV light accelerator on the tip. So I've been using the accelerator liquid, and that works great. Quick set, you know, you don't have to wait for the stuff to dry, but it does want to leave like a white haze on everything, and that's kind of annoying. But I found this with the UV light. You know, it takes a couple seconds for everything to dry. There's no white residue or anything left over, so win-win. Pretty happy with that stuff. I'm gonna keep using it. So we just about got our wheels put on here. We'll have our rolling chassis finished up here. So got my axles in, got them super glued. Hit it with the UV light to harden it up, harden the glue up, and then we should have a roller here. So should be good to go here. Just give it a little test and make sure you didn't accidentally get any glue on the axles, and she rolls fine, and we're going to call that guy good and move on. So paint's dry, and I know I said I was going to put some clear on, but actually didn't put the clear on yet, since this was already urethane paint instead of the water-based paint, where you got to put at least a coat of clear on before you put the tampos on. This one, it's pretty much ready to go. So I got my decals trimmed to fit. Set them in some warm water for, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, and you're ready to start placing them down here. Those guys over there at Second Chance Redlines make a good product. I bought a bunch of decals from them in the past. Recently, this one was one of them. I did get the Starsky and Hutch, the white tampos for a build here in the near future. And if you watch one of my last videos there, the Big Trouble in Little China truck, he made those for me too, and they worked out great. They look sweet. So that's where we're at here. We're just going to keep trying to take our Q-tip and get it kind of damp. Try to press down on the tampo all the way around. Try to get all the air bubbles out as much as you can. And see, it's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. And we'll be able to move to the other side. So if you see me right there, it looks like I got the same side decal twice, and I actually did. My mistake, cut out the wrong one. Duh. So I did have to go back and get the other side and get that going. So here we are with the correct side. Same as the other. Put it in the water, 15-20 seconds or so, and the backing should slide right out and get it kind of centered where you want. Then you got to work on kind of squeegeeing all the air bubbles out and get everything nice and straight and perfect. And then we'll be able to move on. We'll let this dry and we'll move on to our clear. So I think everything's looking pretty good now. Happy how it is. So we're ready for final assembly. I did hit it with about 3 coats of the 2K clear after the tampos were good and dry. I think this thing looks sweet. It's nice gloss black. Everything's locked in. I did detail the engine a little bit with a little chrome. I know that's not factory, but so what? I thought cool chrome engine parts would look pretty good. I did polish up the windshield, and I did dunk it in some Pledge floor polish, and that thing's nice and shiny, and that thing's ready to go. So I guess this is somewhat of a trickier windshield interior combo to put in. Usually you can just drop the windshield in and put your interior in, but this one's got to be, you got to put the interior or the windshield on first. Got to make sure the back windows are folded up, and then you got to slide it in with kind of pretty much how it came out. You got to slide it in with the hood first, and it'll go in fine. So chassis time. It does have the little notch in the back to start, so get that thing hooked in, and then there is only one screw. I did drill the post out earlier. I didn't tap it. I got self-tapping screws that I've been using a lot. I really like those. So screw that bad boy together, and we should be ready. So we're going to step back, take a look at what we started with, the old school 70s A-Team van. Pretty much the Baja Breaker casting with painted in tampos to match the A-Team. Factory Real Riders, pretty cool casting, but she just needed brought back to life. So that's what we did. New paint, new decals, polished base, new wheels. Take a look what we finished with here. Gloss shiny black, shiny windshield. Tampos are up to date. Got some cool new Real Rider wheels with some new rims on it. I don't know about you guys, think it turned out great. Want to say thanks you guys for watching another video of mine, and check out the others. I got some cool other ones. I got some cool races if you guys are into that. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all the 3 Blind Mice builds. Those guys are making some crazy cool stuff. I've got a couple of my own ready to come out here soon, so keep on the lookout for those. Thanks again, and see you next time.